Welcome to day 4 of the EDP 2012 Kite Surf Pro Cascais. We are looking out at our overview cam of beautiful Guincho Beach. If you're just joining us this morning, it's a beautiful morning in Guincho. I'm Sky Solbach, and sitting next to me, Ben Meyer. We will be bringing you the play-by-play action all day. Morning, Ben. It looks like an awesome day out there. Looks like we should get some wind today.
It's looking great, actually. Yesterday when we had our morning coffee talk show, we were actually looking at pretty much the same thing as we're seeing today, which is sort of an increasing swell as the day goes on, and some increasing wind as the day goes on. Again, if we look out onto the water, we're seeing some ripples, which usually means at this time of morning that we can kind of count on some afternoon wind pushing its way in.
Yeah, and I mean, I would say it's probably even looking a bit better than yesterday, just based on how this blue patch coming in over the beach here at Guincho. Yesterday morning we saw some kind of a little bit more cloud cover hanging around, a little bit more fog out on the horizon. So today it's already kind of clearing up a little better than yesterday. There's already a bit of texture on the water out there. And I think it's going to be a beautiful day, and it's really low tide. As you can see, those rocks there in the center of the bay were completely covered yesterday, and so I think as this tide starts to push in throughout the morning, should push in that 1.6 meter swell that's out there in the ocean running at the moment, and we hopefully can get this thing underway.
Yeah, the latest forecast I looked at was for the wind to be a couple of knots stronger than yesterday, which I know everyone's going to appreciate there on the beach. And yesterday I think we got through, I want to say, competition was about 3 hours or so. We were able to make it through 5 heats of the first round of the men's competition. And we're looking for today to sort of finish up hopefully to that first round of the men, and then as well beginning on the women's first round.
Exactly, yeah. And as you can see there, still plenty of really fun size waves rolling in there. And as I said before, the high tide should even push a bit more swell in here, and then combined with the afternoon wind swell, even knock it up another notch. We saw some incredible matchups yesterday, Ben, in round 1. Couple pretty high-scoring heats. What were some of the standouts for you?
We ran the first 5 heats of the day, or of the first round, and some of the standouts for the first day. I know that we had some heats that we were really excited to see. Heat number 1. Was one that we were excited to see. Heat number 2, thought it was going to be pretty challenging for all of the riders. Those first 2 heats straight out of the box.
Yeah, pretty stacked, those first 2 heats.
And it ended up being hotly contested, but really actually some of the standouts for the day kind of ran away with some of those heats. The first one being Sebastian Ribeiro there in Heat 1, just setting the standard with 2 7-point plus waves being scored for that first round. He actually ended up having the highest overall wave heat total score for the day with a 14.2.
Yeah, Sebastian, I think we were talking about him a lot kind of in the warm-up free surfs out here over the last week or so. We've been riding with him, and he's just definitely been a standout rider out here in the lineup, and just coming into that first heat with that 14.2 heat score total kind of set the standard, as you were saying, and set the bar for the rest of the heats to come yesterday.
Yeah, and today again is day 4 of the 2012 EDP Kite Surf Pro, and we are currently in the midst of our 10 a.m. wait coffee talk here, thankfully with a couple of espressos.
Keep us going
this morning as we wait for the riders' meeting to come to an end and figure out what the call is for the day. Again, we're anticipating something similar to yesterday, whereas they're probably going to put this on hold for the next call to probably be around noon, would be my guess, with a possible anticipation. And if yesterday has anything, if we can take a measure from anything yesterday, I would say around that 2 o'clock mark. But again, we'll wait and see what the official word is right now from the head judge and from the contest director.
Absolutely. So, I mean, going back to the matchups from yesterday, that first heat was really stacked, obviously with the 2 Brazilians, and so Luke McGillivray from South Africa, and the 2 Brazilians, Sebastian Ribeiro and Guilherme Brandão. Sebastian kind of running away with that heat with that 14.2 heat score total. In Heat 2, we saw Kiahi de Aboides, as he pronounces his name. Also with a really high heat score total, 13.16, we saw Kiahi throwing airs on pretty much all the waves he caught, through some air reverses and some really sort of progressive new school maneuvers.
Yeah, and for as strong and powerful as Sebastian Ribeiro's riding was in the first round, we kind of got to see a bit more of the aerial side of things in heat number 2. And again, those first 2 heats we thought were really stacked, and we weren't disappointed with the action for those first 2 heats. And Kiahi for sure kind of came out there and set the standard for what to expect for the rest of this contest in the aerial aspect of kite surfing.
Yeah, for sure, and especially with kind of the light wind we had yesterday, I think Kiahi was on a 10 out there. He said he was pretty powered in his heat actually, but I think as we kind of move forward in the competition and hopefully get a little bit stronger breeze, we're going to see a lot more of that aerial new school sort of progressive surfing come into play. So heat 3 of round 1, we saw Lee Harvey take the lead in that heat. Lee Harvey from the UK with an 8.4 heat score total. That was a little bit of a slower heat, but Lee was able to pick off some great set waves and link some nice flowing maneuvers.
Yeah, and if for those of you tuned into the live cast yesterday or who were able to watch sort of the on-demand heats from yesterday and the recaps and everything, we talked a lot about the guys who were scoring the best in their heats were the ones who were sort of picking out a wave from the set on the outside and sticking with it all the way to the inside and really working it and sort of taking a chance that that's going to come in on the inside and reform and kind of give the rider an extra chance to either hit a little aerial off there, or as we saw in the case later in heats, which we'll talk about and be able to see a bit later, having a little cover-up section there on the inside. So the riders who were able to come in and really not only have a few nice, solid, strong turns on the outside, but able to set up on the inside for sort of to put their mark on the end of that wave, were scoring really well yesterday.
Yeah, I think it was all about kind of staying with the whitewater and getting that reform inside section on the inside sandbar there. That's pretty much where we saw most of the aerial maneuvers being thrown, like in Kiahi's heat. Sebastian was bashing that closeout in near shore. And then in heat 4, we saw Mitu Montero, the magic man from Cabo Verde, get a nice little cover up on that inside sandbar.
Yeah, and that was the standout wave for me for the day, and definitely sort of put sort of the emphasis on, as we were just talking about, sort of not giving up on a wave on the outside. He could have very easily sort of kicked out from the wave and gone out and tried to set himself up for the next set coming in, but he stuck with it, then was rewarded for it on the inside with a little reform that he was able to put the brakes on and stomp on the tail and stall out and duck in for a little cover-up.
Yeah, and that was a greatly executed wave there from Mitu. He got that thing on the outside and fired off a couple of turns. I think he got one really good hack kind of in the ball on the outside, and then sort of stuck with the reform and was able to just duck his head and get a nice little cover up on the inside and came out clean, and that was a great score for Mitu. Then in Heat 5, which was the last heat of the day, we saw the local wildcard Gonzalo Gomez coming through that, and huge support for Gonzalo, of course, this being his local spot. Came in from his heat, and all the local boys were there cheering for him. They had the Portuguese flag out and showing their patriotic support for their local homeboy. Yeah,
exactly, and he deserved it. He was definitely the one in that heat that put himself in the proper position for those really strong power turns up and setting himself up for a really strong hacks off the top and getting himself back down quickly to be able to link some turns together. As the winds weren't super strong yesterday, so positioning yourself and kite flying actually became an issue yesterday, where the guys who were able to get their kites in the proper position were able to set themselves up to really hit those waves with as much power and fluidity as they possibly could, which is exactly what our judges are looking for.
For sure, yeah. I mean, it was all about linking those turns together and keeping that flow and keeping tension in your lines and milking that thing all the way to the inside. And then we went on to Heat 6. I was actually in Heat 6, and unfortunately that heat got canceled. Actually, fortunately that heat got canceled because we were struggling a little bit. I was kind of in the staging area during Heat 5 waiting for my heat, and the wind was still kind of pretty all right, and as soon as that heat started, it kind of like swung a few degrees onshore and then just kind of died. So and that was pretty much it for the day. We put the contest on hold for about an hour, I believe, and looked like it pretty much just went glassy. So that competition was called off for the afternoon yesterday.
Yeah, for those of you who were joining us on the live cast yesterday, you kind of saw a clocking of the wind come a bit more on shore, and the riders were actually almost going across the screen horizontal to the beach, which was it made it seem like it was, like Sky was saying, that the wind dropped a little bit. The waves were still coming in, but it's pretty high tide. There was a lot of water moving around, pretty washing machine-like on the inside, and just put conditions a little bit further beyond what is acceptable for running the contest.
Yeah, for sure. And being only the third day of the 10-day holding period, our contest directors definitely are not in any hurry to run this thing in conditions that are not fully contestable. So put the contest on hold and wait for better conditions, which it looks like we'll have today. So if you're just joining us, this is day 4 of the EDP 2012 Kite Surf Pro Cascais. I believe we have a little wrap-up of yesterday.
Yeah.
So we're going to cut to that and maybe hear a little word from our sponsors, and we will be back with you here live in just a moment as we wait for the official call for the day from our contest directors.
Yeah, we're here day 3 for the KSP Pro Tour here on Guincho Beach. And for the first 2 days, we've had less than stellar conditions for the contest to be run. The waves have been phenomenal since we got here. And for the first 2 days, all the riders were out surfing and paddling them to some bombs actually that were rolling in. Today, actually, when we woke up in the morning, it was clear, it was sunny. It looked like the wind line wanted to push in, so everyone was kind of had this buzz on the beach that we thought that the contest was going to be run today. And sure enough, come about 1:30, 2 o'clock, the wind came in, the waves were holding for us to be able to run the event today, and it was just great conditions to be able to get the first 5 heats off today here at Guincho.
It's game time, baby. It's game time.
Big puffs.
Win, finally. Let's pray to stick around till the end of the day. Yeah. And probably when the tide come up, a little bit more waves.
Got a heat with Canada next. The UK against one of our countries.
Yeah, one of the dependencies. God
Doing it for the Queen.
God save the Queen.
For the live webcast, we hope to see you every day at 10 a.m. We'll be waiting for you to tune in. We'll be there ready to watch the heats and check out all the action and recap the previous day and what we can expect for the rest of the competition. Join us every day on the live stream.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is day 4 of the EDP Kite Surf Pro Cascais 2012. There we see one of our female competitors from the Netherlands, Yalu Langere, heading out for a little early morning surf warm-up. We saw some great action yesterday, made it through 5 heats, and we just saw that little wrap-up clip of yesterday's action. So a little bit lighter wind, but really fun surf in the shoulder to head high range yesterday. And we are hoping to get some more heats underway this afternoon.
Yeah, expecting more of the same, if not a little bit stronger winds. So
yeah, it looks like
a good afternoon session.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it looks like we've got a little bit more texture out there on the water this morning than we did yesterday at this time. So we are optimistic that we're going to get this thing underway. We did actually just get the word from the riders meeting, official call from our contest director and head judge, that they will put it on hold until noon, so the next call will come at 12 p.m. local time here in Cascais.
Yeah, and we'll be back with you for sure with that update. And again, I'm assuming it's going to kind of play out the way that yesterday did. I would imagine that the 12 p.m. call would bring another small delay to let the wind come in and pick up a little bit. As Sky was saying, there's some texture on the water, so there's no reason to believe that it's not going to push in and build as it did yesterday afternoon. But in the meantime, for our coffee talk show, we want to bring you some more interviews that we were able to get over the last few days that we've been waiting around for the wind and in between contests. And in between the heats and I believe we have Christine
Christine was able to catch up with our defending champion from last year, Ayrton Cozzolino from Italy. Grew up on Cabo Verde, does a lot of training in Cabo Verde and Italy. So we will just cut to this little interview with Christine with our last year's champion, Ayrton Cozzolino.
And here I am again with Ayrton Cozzolino. Ayrton, 2011 KSP World Champion. That was a great success for you. We were all stoked to see you up there on the podium. Now 2012, there's a lot of new talent on the tour. I'm sure there's a lot of pressure on you. How does that make you feel?
I'm training hard because this month the competition is so difficult, but the riders is so strong. I'm training in Italy now. I'm taking my maximum on the tour.
So basically, with all those new talent on tour, you've just really prepared hard for the season that basically gave you new motivation, and you want to ride even harder this year?
Yes, I'm training hard because this condition is difficult, you know. So the wind is onshore, and I don't habituate in this wind. In Cabo Verde is side on. The kite is not moved. Here they moved the kite, but it's okay. This condition is so good, good people, good waves. I'm like.
Yeah, for sure. The conditions here are a lot different than in Ponta Preta or Pontacino or anything we saw last year in Cabo Verde. But do you like the side onshore conditions? We've seen you some crazy aerial maneuvers in the last few days. Is that something that you really strive on?
Yeah, I'm like. For me, it's new, no? It's new condition. I'm like, it's good for me for training, but it's first time in this condition. But in Cabo Verde, it's side off, side on. Here, side on, onshore. But it's good for me. I'm training, practice a little bit.
Well, I've seen you ride. I'm pretty confident you will be doing well. Good luck for the event here. Good luck for the whole season again, of course. And you told me before you would like to say a few words in Portuguese. We are here in Portugal, you speak Portuguese, so why don't you just give the people out there a little shout out?
Muito obrigada para toda a gente que ajudou aqui no Portugal. Como a gente sabe, é a primeira vez que eu estou aqui nessa magnífica praia. Eu quero dizer obrigado para toda essa sponsor aqui, toda a gente que ajuda. Vamos aí a ver o que vai acontecer nessa competição aí.
Perfect. I think I understood a little too. Also from me, I mean, beautiful beach. Great to have Ayrton here with us. Thanks a lot for doing the little interview with us. Good luck again, and back to Sky and Ben.
Great to hear Ayrton Cozzolino's mindset going into this first event of 2012. He's looking pretty relaxed. I know he's been out there in the warm-up sessions just kind of dominating pretty much, I would say, throwing a lot of new progressive airs and new school maneuvers. And Ayrton, just training hard, as he was saying, and he's a pretty relaxed kind of guy. I don't think he's too worried about doing well out here. He's just having fun with the whole thing and staying relaxed and just having a good time. He loves kiting more than anything. I think he logs more water time than most fish.
Yeah, and I'm sure even as relaxed as he must be, being able to sit and watch the heats yesterday, he's probably itching to get out there.
He was amping yesterday. I mean, in between the heats, he was upwind in the staging area, and then I think even when the thing got called off yesterday, he pumped a 12, and he's being one of the lighter guys on tour. He actually went out and kept kiting until there was absolutely no wind, and then I'm sure he probably paddled out for a surf after that, and so he's just having a really good time here, enjoying the waves and the beautiful place here in Cascais and Guincho Beach.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit about the heats that we can expect to see today once the contest gets underway. We're gonna, as you mentioned earlier, Heat 6 was abandoned yesterday, and it's going to be a rerun heat from the beginning. And that one pits you, actually, my friend, Sky Solbach, in the blue, wearing the blue jersey, I believe, against Portuguese local Nuno Figueiredo and the Danish rider, Jacob Appel. Let's talk a little bit about that heat and kind of what you expect to see as soon as that one gets the green flag.
Yeah, well, it's always a little bit difficult to be in the first heat of the day because you're kind of on standby, especially when you're also co-commentating here. I'm going to have to run down there and grab my kite and get out. But it'll be kind of nice to get my first heat out of the way early on in the day. And yeah, I mean, I've actually been riding with Nuno quite a bit over the past couple of weeks that I've been here. We went up and had a really fun session up in Peniche about 2 weeks ago, and we rode a place up there called Super Tubes. It's really fun. It's actually that little Cabo ad we've been playing with Nuno that was filmed that day at Super Tubes, and had a really fun session with him. So, and Jacob Appel, I'm just meeting him here for the first time, so haven't really had an opportunity to ride with him yet. But a great Danish rider, and yeah, I can't wait for the heat. I'm stoked to get out there and get wet and have a good time. It's super fun waves up there. I'm sure today's going to be hopefully a little bit better than yesterday and stronger wind, and I'm looking forward to the heat.
And heat coming up right after your heat, we have heat number 7, which is going to pit Hawaiian Patrick McLaughlin against the Frenchman Etienne Lott and the young Cabo Verdean Machu Almeida.
Yeah, that's actually going to be quite a stacked heat. Patrick McLaughlin, of course, coming from Hawaii, rides all sizes of surf from small onshore stuff as we've seen him doing in some of his videos he's been putting online recently, to towing into jaws. He does it all, and he's a true waterman. And
yeah, both of us have had the opportunity to ride. I've been able to ride with Patri for, I don't even know, I think I've known the kid for 10 years, something like that. So it's been cool to watch his progression into his focus in the wave scene and the strapless progression, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Patri's one of the young guns and kind of new faces, even though he's been around for a long time. Just starting to compete last year, really on the KSP World Tour, and getting his name out there. He's kind of leading the charge in that sort of young, progressive strapless movement. And of course, coming up against Etienne Lott from France. Etienne, kind of a veteran.
Tour veteran.
We've been competing with Etienne for, I don't even know how long, since the very beginning.
Probably 10 years as well.
Yeah, probably 10 years. So Etienne's been around for forever, and definitely can't count him out. He did quite well on tour last year, and he'll be looking to
bring some experience into the event for sure, and being able to sort of set back, especially as we talked about yesterday. The guys who didn't get to run their heats yesterday were able to sit back and watch how the waves were being scored and how to deal with the conditions that were presenting themselves. So it should prove an advantage today as soon as the contest kicks into gear, to know exactly how the judges were scoring the waves and be able to get out there and sort of be able to do that in what the judges are looking for in the conditions that we have. And
yeah, for sure. And so Patri and Etienne are going to be up against Machu Almeida Lopez from Cabo Verde. He'll be wearing the white jersey, and Machu, just kind of following in the footsteps of Mitu Montero. So Mitu, kind of the big name that we all know coming out of Cabo Verde, and now of course Ayrton Cozzolino, also a Cabo Verde local, now living in Italy. And Machu is kind of the new face underneath those two guys, who's just kind of now emerging, and he's a really young, stylish, super quick rider, and he's learning all these moves from Mitu and Ayrton. And he's going to be bringing some huge moves into that heat, throwing a lot of airs and super quick, fast, cat-like style. So that's going to be a super stacked heat.
And then following that up with our first round men's heat, heat number 8. Again, we just heard from defending KSP champion Ayrton Cozzolino. He is going to be in the blue jersey to begin heat 8. And in the red jersey, we're going to have the Spaniard Abel Lago. In white, Cameron Beal from the U.S. And that as well is going to be a heat that everyone's going to be watching, because it's going to be Ayrton's first heat out, and everyone wants to see what the defending champ has. And for Abel and Cameron, it's their chance to knock out the defending champion.
Yeah, for sure. Those guys are going to be gunning for Ayrton there in that first heat, and this is going to be kind of the battle of the goofy footers. All of these guys are natural goofy footers. Ayrton Cozzolino, we've seen him out here mostly riding frontside, so he'll be riding switch, I believe, on most of his waves. But the thing with Ayrton is, I know that he surfs as a goofy foot, but you put him on a kite, and he can go frontside both ways. Just he can go switch backside, unhooked, upside down, backwards. Doesn't matter which way he's going. He's got it all. And Abel, of course, I think will be riding out here on his backhand, a natural goofy foot surfer. And Cameron Beal from California, from Santa Barbara, he is a goofy footer as well, and he'll be riding out here on his backhand, I believe. I had the opportunity to surf with Cameron the other day when we had that big swell, and he was out there charging, surfing, and shaping his own boards, and he's got some great looking little funky boards under his feet, and he'll be out there ripping it up, going left.
Well, we had a chance to hear from Ayrton Cozzolino a bit earlier, and we have the chance now to hear from someone else, from Abel Lago, who's also going to be in his heat. I believe that one of our eyes and ears on the beach was able to catch up with him in the last few days. So let's cut over to a quick word with Abel Lago.
I'm here with Abel Lago from Spain. We're super excited to have him here on tour. Abel, how do you love being down this side of the coast, and how does this compare with your home turf?
Yeah, it's quite similar actually. I live in the north of Portugal. It's in Galicia. It's 500 kilometers from here, and it's quite similar coast, Atlantic side, same temperature. It's actually the same mentality that I'm Portuguese. I feel like home here. It's very good to be here.
Nice, home away from home. So besides kiting here on the tour, which we're super excited to have you, is there anything else that you're super passionate about while you're here on tour to tell us about?
Yeah, well, I'm competing. I've been competing for 10 years, even 15 years before in windsurfing, and I actually, competing, we don't have many events, and it's really hard to keep your high level, traveling around the world and find the money. And now I find a very good job with R&D, making all the development with the designer, still traveling to the best places, working, testing kites. And we design the kites in Italy. We go to the competitions. Now, for example, here I have new prototypes to test in competition. And this is a good feedback for the company, for the regular rider. They know that they can use the best gear, test it in the best conditions. And it's pretty cool. I'm really excited with this, and always new toys to check and test on the water, and it's pretty fun. It's a good job.
Abel, is there any spot here on the tour that you're really exceptionally looking forward to?
Yeah, well, I think the 90% of us is looking forward to go to Mauritius. I've been there, and it's really incredible. I'm a goofy rider. I go frontside in one night. It's so good to go in the barrel, and just the feeling to be inside this massive water, moving behind you, is incredible. And really looking forward. Mauritius, I think, is a great spot. Also, Ireland in the north can be cold, but can be good. I hope we get good conditions. And let's see if I can keep going and doing good, and I can go to Maui. I think you come from Maui, no?
Yes.
And I'm really looking forward. Hawaii looks, it's always a place to go, and it's a place, it's a dream place. You need to go to Hawaii once in life. You need to go to Hawaii.
It's like once in life, they say in Portugal, you need to go to Fatima to visit the Virgin and the cathedral there. And if you are a surfer, you must go to Maui.
Thank you very much. We're super looking forward to having you out in the water and look forward to how you do here. Thank you very much. Back to you.
Great to hear from our lone Spaniard there on tour, Abel Lago, talking a little bit about the conditions. And if you're just joining us, this is day 4 of the EDP Kitesurf Pro Cascais 2012. As we mentioned before, we did get word from our contest director that they are going to make the next call at noon, so we're going to wait around for that.
About an hour and a half from now. Yep, hour and a half from now, local time here in Portugal.
So if you guys have had the chance to check out our new live page, you can check out all the heat draws there to the right-hand side of the player.
As we see some of the local Portuguese wildlife here in the water making their way out to the shore break.
So be sure to check out our live page there. And all the heat draws, we've got a Facebook chat there underneath the player. We'd love to hear from you guys. Type in some questions if there's anything you want to know about the riders, their equipment they're riding, the conditions, anything. Give a shout out to anyone.
Then the scoring widget's insane. That's what we use. We use the live online scoring widget as we're watching from our little bird's nest up here. So it's happening as it's being scored. It's being relayed across to you guys at home. And it's a fantastic way to keep tabs on the heat and exactly what's happening as it scores in the judges tower.
Yeah, it's a really cool live scoring system there from RideScore Mobile. The judges down there, of course, have iPads. They're just able to type in their scores live as they happen, and those get relayed up to us, and they're right in there in the live scoring player. So you're able to see those. You can hover over each individual score with your mouse and be able to see all of the 5 scores that the judges have locked in. Of course, you can also scroll down on our live page and like our sponsors. These guys are supporting this event and allowing us to bring these live images to you here from Cascais. So be sure to give those guys some love and give them a little click on their Facebook there.
And when we're talking about sponsors, we want to give a shout out to our industry sponsors. First and foremost, Best Kiteboarding for being the premier industry sponsor of the event, and again launching the Cabo Kite around this time for their wave-specific kite, and see their team riders out, as we've seen in the heats yesterday. I believe we saw Pedro for sure was on that kite yesterday, just ripping on it.
Yeah,
and
Pedro, a new addition to their team. They just signed him up, and he's of course coming from a purely surfing background and transferring that over to the kite. So great to see him on the Best Kiteboarding team.
And the rest of the industry sponsors that we have at Underground Kiteboarding, at Nash, at North, Cabrina, Ozone, and F1. We want to thank all those guys for kicking in some support for this event, and it really feels good to have the industry behind the things that the KSP is trying to showcase and really push forward in the progression of this surf style of kiteboarding.
And we'd also, of course, like to give a huge shout out to our title sponsor here, EDP. They are an energy company, environmentally conscious, and we are very stoked to have their support. And of course, the city of Cascais here in this beautiful region of Portugal. As you can see, beautiful beaches abound, and if you guys have never been here, you're looking for a nice vacation, some nice getaway where you can surf, kite, stand-up paddle, windsurf, drink great coffee, have great food. Come to Cascais. This is a beautiful area of Europe.
And as you see here, the overview cam, this is basically what you look out from the hotel rooms that we're staying in, is this exact view. It's remarkable. It's such a great location. Where literally you stumble onto the beach as soon as you leave the hotel. It's a beautiful place to come and hang out.
Yeah, so we are staying at the Muchacho Hotel here. They were nice enough to host us here for this event, so a big thank you to those guys as well. I believe we do have another interview here for you. Justine was able to catch up with last year's winner of the Peru KSP event, Gili Brandao. Gili, we talked a little bit about him the last couple of days. We saw him up in that first heat yesterday against Sebastian Ribeiro. So we are going to cut to a short interview here of Gili, and we will be back with you shortly.
I'm here with three-time world champ, Gilly Brendao. We're super excited to have you here. Gilly, you've been in Portugal for a bit now. How has it been preparing here, checking out the conditions? What's the riding been like so far?
It's been a lot of fun. I mean, I think that's one of the really good things about being on KSP Tour, because it really takes you to places that you would travel anyway just to enjoy the place and have a good time. So it's good to take advantage of that and just go to the places a bit earlier and spend a few days there just enjoying without the competition stress or competition mind there, just going around, seeing the places, surfing different beaches, get to know the sightseeing, all the culture in the place. So yeah, it's been a really great time here.
Great, we're happy to have you here, and it is a beautiful location. We're very lucky to be here. Before coming here, how did you prepare for the season, for this first competition?
Actually didn't prepare that much because I was really super busy in the beginning of the year. I'm involved now on the production of all the kite line on Mormai, which is my sponsor. So I really working on that from beginning to end. So it has been a lot of work. It's a rewarding work because I really enjoy doing the thing, but it means time out of the water. So I wish I could have some more water time in the beginning of the year, but it's still okay. Like I could catch up on those last probably month and get it going again.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll bounce right back. I mean, everything you do kind of works together, and your home turf breeds great riders. So what is it about Brazil? We have so many Brazilian riders here on the tour. What's in the water? What is it about your home turf that makes you guys so good?
We have a lot of waterfalls there. That's a thing that might help us, that energy there. Yeah, no, I don't know. I think the whole country is just so blessed with so many good conditions all around. We have a huge coast with beaches and wind from every direction. So, and the people there is just so passionate about kite surfing. Mostly surfers that used to surf and now are getting into kite surfing because we really have more good conditions for kiting on the waves than actually for surfing. So they're really stoked on doing the change and surfing the waves with the kite. So also we have a really strong national tour. We have like every year probably 4 stops on a national tour. We get good prize money, good sponsors on it. So it's a really push to all the guys to get motivated and put their time on it to really become professionals. So yeah, I think all of this combined, it has really just brought the level really up there in Brazil.
That's great. Yeah, you guys have a lot of experience, and we're looking forward to you being able to combine all of your knowledge, work, and on the water here in Portugal. So thank you so much for talking with me, and we can't wait to see you out on the water. Back to you.
Welcome back. This is day 4 of the EDP Kitesurf Pro Cascais 2012. We just heard from Gilly Brendao, the Brazilian, not only an incredible rider, but also working really hard with that kite company and taking on some more responsibility. And he'll be looking to do some damage in this event, no doubt. He's been here for a couple weeks now training. I've had some really fun sessions out here with Gilly. Interesting to hear him talk about Brazil and all the great talent we're seeing coming out of Brazil at the moment. A lot of that is thanks to their national events. You know, they're really pushing their riders to step it up and travel more and compete. So it's great to see these national associations supporting the development of kite surfing, and you know, it's just a great pathway for young riders to you know, go up through the ranks and make it here onto the KSP World Tour.
Yeah, and it was cool. I had a chance to speak with Gilly last night at dinner after the heats, and although he was disappointed that he didn't win that first round heat, he was stoked that he lost to at least a teammate. You know, and again, it's kind of a cool little family that our sport provides, and that it's still relatively small in the grand scheme of things, and sort of provides this atmosphere where you know, even after the event, these guys really, they just love to kite. They love to be with their friends, and And after the heats are over, you can be disappointed, but Gili was just psyched to be able to have another chance to get out there in the second round and hope to advance, but excited that if he was to lose, at least it was to one of his teammates.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, going down to an informed rider like Sebastian, there's no shame in that. Gili had some great waves, but Sebastian was just on fire yesterday. And I saw the two of them after their heat also. They were, being teammates. They were helping each other. They were packing kites together and loading board bags, and they're staying together in the same room, and they're great buddies. So great to see that sort of camaraderie in the competitors.
Absolutely. And if you're just joining us again, this is what began during this event as the 10 a.m. call, however, has now been dubbed the morning show because
or coffee talk.
Yeah. As soon as we get like 12 or 13 coffees in us, it seems like we're able to talk for about 45 minutes. So this has come to be called the morning show here in the commentator headquarters HQ. And
so welcome and thanks for joining us and putting up with us here for 45 minutes every morning.
Hopefully you get a little few nuggets of advice and information out of the 45 minutes of banter that we're providing here.
Hopefully not just aimless rambling, but actually a little bit of information mixed into the mix here.
That's right. And just to reiterate, the call is for a noon kind of reconvene to look at the conditions and see what's happening. As we look at our surf cam, our action cam, you can still see that there's some texture on the water and a good lineup of surfers out there with some swell rolling in, which all bodes well for the afternoon session. Again, anticipating that the wind is going to push in and give our competitors the opportunity to get out there and finish that first round of the heats for today.
And we've got a lot of cool stuff going on. We've been bringing you some interviews and getting some insight into the competitors' mindset going into this event. We've also got another thing we've been talking about. Rata has painted our event poster here. He's an artist who has actually done 4 unique works of art for each of our individual events on tour this year. And we have a little clip of Rata introducing his painting that he's done for the Kite Surf Pro here in Cascais. So we're going to cut to a quick clip from Rata.
Hey guys, my name is Sylvain Orange. I'm also known as Rata. That's how I sign my paintings. I'm the artist who painted Azurios du Mar, which you have right here, first of a series of 4 paintings. So here is the deal. Join Cascais and I in supporting Blue. This painting can be yours. Bid now on charitybuzz.com. See you in the waves.
So a really cool program there from Rata. That painting is going to be auctioned off on charitybuzz.com, so make sure to get over there and put in your bid. All of the proceeds of the sale of that painting are going to go to benefit the Blue Marine Foundation. It's a non-profit foundation out of the UK, and that is the Blue Marine Foundation is all about the preservation and protection of our oceans and beaches. So not only a great painting, but a great cause to support.
Speaking of the
UK,
Pasty Adventures, that's Lee Harvey, our UK rider there. I think I don't know what he's doing, cleaning out his van.
I think he just woke up, cleaning out.
He's chucking stuff out. I'm not sure what's happening down there.
But Lee, we saw him up in...
You should hose that thing out is really what that guy needs to do.
Take a shower. He's been parked down there. He's got he's parked there right on the bluff overlooking the beach here at Guincho. And he's got prime real estate there right on the bluff in his van. Drove that thing all the way down from the UK last week. Yeah. He's been surfing up and down the coast and enjoying his time here.
Yeah, and Lee Harvey is one of the riders that yesterday advanced through his first round heat and skipped straight to the 3rd round and is now awaiting the rest of the first round matchups and then what happens through the 2nd round in sort of the first section of the losers heat.
Yep, for sure. So we'll see more of him later on in the competition. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up the Coffee Talk morning show here with Ben and Sky. Again, if you did not hear the call, we are going to get the next call from our contest directors at noon. So that
just
is
over
in
an hour from now.
just about an hour and 15 minutes from now. So be sure to check back at noon. Hopefully we will have a breeze filling in and we'll be able to get this competition underway. I'm going to be up in the first heat, heat 6, and we will see you guys at noon.
All right, guys, have a great morning, and see you in an hour.
Wow.
Welcome back. This is your 12 p.m. update here at the EDP Kitesurf Pro Cascais 2012. We just figured out that one of our mics was actually unplugged during our last 3-minute update there, so we'll just bring you up to speed again. So this is the noon call. As you can see, a beautiful day out there on our overview cam. However, wind conditions not quite contestable, obviously, at the moment. No whitecaps out there for the time being, but it looks like we should hopefully get a breeze filling in this afternoon. So contest directors are going to put this thing on hold for another hour. So the next call will come at 1 p.m. local time here in Cascais, and a first possible start of 1:30, Ben.
Yeah, and it looks like it actually is a little bit less wind at this time today than it was yesterday. So we'll see. We have our fingers crossed that the wind's going to pick up. But definitely looks like maybe a little bit later of a push than even we saw yesterday, as the texture on the water seems to be about the same now as it was this morning. So I don't know. I mean, the forecast is for wind to be picking up this afternoon, actually even a little bit more than yesterday, but we haven't seen it so far. But we'll keep our eyes on it and update you again, as Sky said, in about 50 minutes with the next possible start being at 1:30. But I'm, again, probably anticipating even a little bit more of a push back than that.
Yeah, it was interesting. You know, this morning we saw some of that residual cloud cover kind of hanging around, a little bit of fog over the hill there. The hill there had a little cap on it. But, you know, it looked like it was going to get windy early, and then it kind of, the sun came out and kind of created a little bit of a heat bubble here near the beach. It kind of went glassy for a little bit and really died off. Now it looks like we've got a little bit of an onshore push again, so hopefully that is a good indication that the wind is going to build throughout the afternoon. But again, we are going to keep this thing on hold for one more hour, so the next call will come at 1 p.m. with a 1:30 first possible start, and the first heat out on the water will be heat number 6. That's actually my heat. I'll be up against Nuno Figueiredo here from Portugal and Jacob Apple, the Danish rider. So can't wait to get out for that heat, and hopefully we will have a nice strong breeze filling in this afternoon.
And just a few things to keep in mind as you're watching the live stream. Underneath the box where you're watching the video is a Facebook chat that you can leave messages and write in and give us feedback or ask questions or root for your favorite riders, and we'll try to be glancing at those as the broadcast goes on and try to, again, answer questions about equipment, what stuff the riders are choosing, what gear they're using. You want to give some shout outs or good luck to some specific riders. We'll try to transmit those here through the broadcast. So check that out and leave some messages.
And be sure to check out obviously our Facebook page and also our Twitter. We have a little Twitter feed there on the live page. If your boss is looking over your shoulder and you're not able to keep this live webcast screen open, you can follow all the updates and the latest developments on Twitter and Facebook, and follow your favorite riders there, and we'll be providing heat scores and announcements as they come in.
And another cool thing I want to show you too, just quickly, we're going to have a little heat status, and as we progress through the contest of which heat, which round, in case you have the broadcast in full screen on your computer. Of course, we have the live scoring widget that's underneath that tells you who's in the heat and what their immediate scores are, but just in case you have this as a full screen, we're going to put which round, which heat's going on underneath that KSP logo you're seeing there in the upper right hand corner. So let me show you what we have right now, which is the heat's on hold. Here it comes. Shoot! Heat's on hold. Oh yeah. Ready? And on the outro, shoot! Gone.
Here, let me try one, Ben. Can I do
All right,
one?
here you go. Ready, Sky?
Heat's on hold. And there we go.
So keep your eye on that as the contest goes on. The heat, the round that we're in. Again, kind of be able to give you the information if you choose to be watching this full screen as to where we are in the contest, and also if you just happen to be tuning in, especially with our morning show, which sometimes we start BSing a little bit.
We kind of get derailed and kind of go off on tangents sometimes, so that little Heats on Hold tab there will keep you up to date with what is actually going on. That's exactly right there, Ben. So once again, if you're just joining us, this is day 4. This is the 12 p.m. update here from Cascais. The next call will come at 1 p.m., just about 37 minutes from now.
I'm going with 47, big guy.
Okay, 47. Sorry, my math's a little off. I think I need another coffee. So just about 45 minutes from now, the next call will come at 1 p.m. with a first possible start of 1:30. So be sure to check back, and we will see you guys in about 45 minutes.
So you guys have a great lunch hour.
Good afternoon and welcome back to day 4 of the EDP Kitesurf Pro Cascais 2012. I'm Sky Solbach. Sitting next to me is Ben Meyer. This is your 1 p.m. update. As you can see, still quite light winds out there at the moment, but nevertheless some riders getting ready, pumping up some kites in anticipation for possibly a building breeze this afternoon. We see that little buggy there ferrying one of our riders down to the competition area. What a beautiful day out there. If nothing else, a great day to be out enjoying the sunshine.
Definitely, it's a beautiful location as we've been talking about all week so far, and again, in such a great natural amphitheater. As we switch back to our overhead cam here, you can see definitely a pretty calm day at the beach. It hasn't quite filled in as much as we'd hoped by the 1 o'clock p.m. Fill-in, but we were actually talking with a couple guys down at the beach, and some of the local guys saying that perhaps 3 o'clock could be nice and strong based on what the conditions look like right now. So for right now, we're on hold for another hour for our next possible start. I would assume after that at about 2:30. So we'll make another call at 2, and then assuming and if conditions look contestable, then it would be first possible start at 2:30 p.m.
Yeah, so Gincho, it's kind of its own little microclimate here in this little corner. It's really kind of thermal driven, and the locals are telling us that it can come up even sometimes late into the evening. So not going to call this thing off just yet. Our contest director's going to kind of wait it out and see what happens with these wind conditions. And if you're just joining us, I'm Sky Solbach. Sitting next to me, Ben Meyer here, live from the commentary booth. This is day 4 of the EDP Kitesurf Pro Cascais. And yeah, hopefully we'll be bringing you some live action, and if nothing else, we'll be here to hopefully keep you guys entertained and keep you up to date on what's going on.
And again, a quick reminder that you can follow all the action, of course, live online, but also in the Facebook chats underneath. Feel free to leave us some comments, some feedback, to wish your favorite athletes and competitors good luck. I was just looking at it now that My wifey and 2 boys are sitting at home eating some breakfast back in North America. It's super early in the morning. Teo, Levi, be good for your mother. And just looking too that Sky's mom is up early in North America.
I think she said she's up at 3 a.m. and she's waiting for the start of my number 6 heat of round 1 there. Not quite sure, Mom, if we're going to be able to get that thing off in these conditions, but it's awesome that you're staying up. And hi to Mom. Hi, Mom and Dad. And
yeah, exactly.
Can't wait to see you guys soon.
And for sure, if there's anything, again, as the contest starts, you know, we're going to be talking a bit about the equipment that everyone's choosing and a little bit about different board shapes and designs and kind of what the competitors are choosing based on the conditions that they see, and going into some more depth on, you know, what the reasonings would be behind their choices, and try to talk to a few of the guys and see what's working out there for them based on the conditions that we find, hopefully, as the wind comes up and the waves come up for the rest of the day.
Yeah, so for all the riders over in the Riders Lounge, they've got the big Toshiba TV up and running there, playing this live webcast. And so don't eat all the pizza over there, you guys.
Yeah, one of our sponsors, Telepizza, just delivered, I don't know, 45 pizzas down there, and there was like a pack of monkeys just manhandling that stuff and going through it. So save a few pieces for us, and, you know, behave yourselves down there.
Yeah, we'll see you guys over there in a little bit. Don't eat all the pizza.
Right on. Well, we're again on hold, as you can see in our on that logo there at the top right. He's on hold, and next possible call is next actual call, not possible call, is going to be 2 p.m., which will be in about 55 minutes, if my math serves me right, there, friend.
I think you're doing a little better than me on the math front there, Ben. So again, 2 p.m. announcement with a 2:30 first possible start. So we will see you guys back here in about 55 minutes if my math is correct.
Your math is correct.
Spot on that one. So we will see you guys back here soon, and have a good afternoon or morning or evening, depending on where you are on the planet.
That's
and
right.
We'll see you back here soon.
Take care.
Welcome back. This is your 2 p.m. update here on Monday, day 4 of the EDP Kitesurf Pro Cascais 2012. As you see, beautiful day at the beach here in Guincho. Unfortunately, very calm winds, so not looking great for a 2:30 start, that's for sure.
No, so we're going to go ahead and put on our little slick graphic right here. Heat's on hold.
Heats are on hold. There we go. So we just got word from our contest director. They are going to keep us on hold until 3 p.m. So once again, in a holding pattern for the next hour or so, as we see some of our competitors down there.
Frolicking in the shore break.
Ayrton Cozzolino doing the backstroke down there.
What was that?
I don't know. That was.
I think we have Melissa Gill down there as well. Whoa, dolphining around, it looks like.
So these guys and girls just enjoying another beautiful day at the beach here.
Porpoising around. What's going on?
Porpoising through the surf.
I'm trying to show off for Melissa down there, I think. Yeah, so we're, again, to reiterate, we're on hold till 3 o'clock. And again, if wind and waves prove to be contestable by 3, the first possible start will be 3:30. But as we switch over to our overview cam, I don't know, it looks like it's kind of glassing off even here on the inside. So the chances of it pushing in are definitely not nil, but it's definitely not as strong as it was at this time yesterday.
Yeah, and some of the locals, as we mentioned earlier, have told us that sometimes the wind does come up in the late evening here, so contest directors just opting to keep this thing on hold for at least another hour to see how these conditions develop. And sometimes you just get kind of a little heat bubble in here by the beach, which keeps the wind pushed out to sea. Right now it's kind of glassy up front, but anything can happen, and maybe we'll even get some wind this afternoon. And the forecast for the rest of the week is actually shaping up pretty nicely. Looks like we're going to have plenty of swell, so that's not going to be any issue. The main thing we have our eye on is wind, and it looks like we should have wind in the forecast for the next few days or so, Ben.
Yeah, and that's the funny thing about looking at the forecast for this place is it kind of does change depending on what the local weather around is. It's definitely driven by fronts, but it kind of is, as Sky, you were saying earlier, kind of its own little microclimate. So we kind of have to just wait and see and kind of take it hour by hour, which is what the contest directors have been doing so far, as to not looking at the day and releasing everyone. As we saw yesterday, it was able to come up and be contestable there in the afternoon.
Yeah, and the great thing about here is it's not like it's not like the contest directors are keeping all the riders on hold and they're not able to go anywhere. The hotel and the official notice board being so close to the beach here, no one's really in a hurry to get out of here. They're right down there as we see the competitors taking a little swim. Just enjoying the beach and kind of waiting for the next call to happen, going out for a little surf. We've had some guys and girls out there stand up paddling all morning and
mingling with the locals.
Having a good time. Came up and snacked on a bit of pizza there from our sponsor, Tell Pizza.
We barely made it in time. We had to fight off the wolves there.
Grabbed the last few slices there as they're quickly disappearing off the table there.
Yeah, and just to remind everybody again to keep checking back on the website on this live page. Again, for all of the upcoming heat draws, and as well as the Facebook chats. And we also want to make sure that we thank our industry sponsors in Best Kiteboarding, Underground Kiteboarding, Nash Kiteboarding, North Kiteboarding, Cabrini. What?
Best Kiteboarding?
Yeah, Best Kiteboarding. We mentioned that one. Cabrini Kiteboarding, Ozone Kiteboarding, and F1 Kiteboarding.
Those are a lot of kiteboardings.
A lot of kiteboardings.
But we are super stoked to have all of those brands getting behind the KSP and really supporting our vision of this tour.
And as well as our title sponsor for the event, EDP, which again is a huge reason why we're in this particular location. Great partnership we've been able to build with that great company to help us bring this event here at Guincho Beach.
Absolutely, and of course we can't forget the city of Cascais, this beautiful stretch of coastline here. If you guys are looking for a nice vacation spot, come and check out Cascais. Endless beaches and beautiful weather, as you can see here on our action cam. Surfer there, catching a nice little wave and getting covered up in that shore pound. So once again, if you're just joining us, this is the 2 p.m. call on day 4 of the EDP Kitesurf Pro Cascais. Next call will come in just an hour from now at 3 p.m. and a first possible start of 3:30.
Yeah, and again to remind everybody, you can watch yesterday's event in 2 different fashions. You can watch sort of the daily recap, which I believe is at the bottom of this screen. You can find a video archive of recapping the day's events from yesterday. And sort of a wrap-up of the best action of the day, as well as we're working on getting a more easily accessible way to be able to view the heats on a more on-demand basis.
Yeah, our tech guys are just working on the website at the moment. We're going to try to put a button there somewhere near the live player that'll show heats on demand, and hopefully be able to have that up for you at some time today, if not before tomorrow. And you'll be able to just click there and scroll through all of the action from yesterday and all previous days.
So we'll keep you up to date on that. Hopefully at our next announcement at 3 o'clock, we'll have that figured out, so it'll be a nice, easy transition. And also hopefully by 3 o'clock we'll have some better news regarding conditions. And as of right now, it looks like it's not quite pushing in yet, but again, fingers crossed for the next hour to produce a little bit more of the conditions that we need as we look out on a few of our riders there. Being the peanut gallery for the surfers that are out there, and again the other riders we saw frolicking in the shore break there, doing handstands and cartwheels and backflips and whatnot.
It's like a couple members of the Commonwealth there, UK and Canada. We saw a little clip of those guys in the wrap-up yesterday. That was pretty funny. But there's last year's KSP World Champion Ayrton Cozzolino shaking the sand out of those dreadlocks, and Melissa Gill there from the USA. Looks like they're working on their suntan, and
Waiting for the wind to come up.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, that'll do it for us for now. We'll see you again. See you again in about 50 minutes for the next call. Again, 3 p.m. next possible, or that'll be the next call, and 3:30 the next possible start for the event. Until then, I'm Ben Meyer.
And I'm Sky Solbach.
Talk to you in an hour.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back. This is your 3 p.m. update here from day 4 at the EDP Kite Surf Pro Cascais 2012. As you can see, still not much wind out there at the moment, but we are going to keep this thing on hold for yet another hour to see if we maybe get a little evening breeze, which by all the forecasts we're looking at are telling us we should see a breeze by this afternoon, hopefully. So we're going to keep this thing on hold for at least one more hour. And the next call will be at 4 o'clock, right, Ben?
Yep, as you can see here, heat's on hold.
That's
correct. That's where we're staying for the time being. I don't know if you saw our right before we came here live, one of our tour riders was down there with a temporary tattoo on his back. We'll see if we can't get back to that guy and have him hoot and holler for us. That was, I think,
Canadians, man.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land. Right?
I thought it was Blame Canada.
No. Come on.
Oh, that was South Park.
So it's our 3 p.m. call. We're on hold for another hour. Again, that's we'll come back with the official call at 4 p.m. with the first possible start at 4:30. And I saw when I came in just a few minutes before we went on, Sky, you had gotten some recent updates on what the weather looks like for the afternoon. What'd you find out?
Yeah, a friend of ours that we met down in Peru last year, he's somewhat of a meteorologist and studies a lot of weather patterns all around the world. And he sent us a few weather charts that take their information from a few different sources around this area. And all things are pointing to a breeze filling in this afternoon and hopefully also tomorrow. So just based on some of the things we're hearing from locals and as well as those weather charts, we are going to keep this thing on hold for yet another hour and see if perhaps maybe, although it doesn't look like it at the moment, that wind will fill in this afternoon. So once again, the next call will come at 4 o'clock, first possible start 4:30, and see if we can't get a few heats under our belt today and into the evening.
Yeah, and from what I saw when I was looking over your shoulder there, it said that there's a potential that if it does get windy, it'll actually probably stay windy until dark. And luckily, like we've pointed out before, it stays light pretty late here. So
yeah.
If that wind does push in, it should still give us a couple hours of contestable. Is that a word? Contestable?
I think it's contestable.
Contestable? I don't know. Maybe our commentating is contestable.
Rhymes with never mind. But if the wind does fill in by 4:30, it doesn't get dark till 9 o'clock, so we could potentially still get about 4 hours of heats in from 4:30 to 8:30 if my math is correct there, Ben.
It needs to be double and triple checked. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, that's for sure.
You can see some local grommets flipping around in the shore break down there. It's a great, fantastic beach day. It's great weather out there. I'd definitely put the temperature up in the mid-20s there if you're speaking Celsius.
If you're speaking European. And beautiful day out there, and yeah, just a beautiful summer day here in Cascais.
So 4 p.m. next call to have another check on the weather. Until then, we're gonna go have some iced teas, I think, and
maybe pound down a few of those ice cream bars.
That's right, a few ice cream bars, and head down to the beach and check it out and see what our riders are up to. As you saw in that intro, a couple of our guys are just standing on the edge there, killing some time until the heats start this afternoon, and everyone else is kind of down checking their gear and enjoying this beautiful location we have here at Guincho Beach. Here at the 2012 EDP Kite Surf Pro, Cascais.
So we will be back with you in about an hour's time. Until then, stay tuned and have a great afternoon, and we will see you back here then.
Hey guys, my name is Sylvain Orange. I'm also known as Rata. That's how I sign my paintings. I'm the artist who painted Azurios du Mar, which you have right here, first of a series of 4 paintings. So here is the deal. Join Cascais and I in supporting Blue. This painting can be yours. Bid now on charitybuzz.com. See you in the waves.
Welcome back to Gincho Beach. This is the 4 p.m. announcement here at the 2012 EDP Kite Surf Pro Cascais. We are still waiting for wind here at Gincho Beach. As you can see out there on our overview cam, not much in the way of wind at the moment. However, all forecasts are still pointing to a little bit of a breeze filling in this afternoon, so contest director is still opting to put this thing on hold for at least 1 more hour. And we will make the next call at 5 p.m. with a 5:30 first possible start. So we are still on standby, but then again, you know, everyone's pretty happy to be hanging out here on the beach. No one's in a hurry to run off to anywhere just yet. Everyone's out there enjoying a little surf. And
yeah, I mean, just looking out there, I would be surprised if it became contestable today, based on what we've been seeing. It's just not building the way that we anticipated, and even if you look at the swell rolling in, it seems like we're back. Yesterday it did sort of the same thing. It got high tide around now between 4 and 6. It's almost at its highest tide, and that's sort of taking a little bit of the power and punch out of the waves from what I can see. So even if it was windy, I would have a hard time believing that we would even be running the event right now anyways, just based on wave size.
yeah, I mean, that high tide is sort of pushing right up onto the sand, and as you can see, those waves are kind of just crashing right onto the inside bank there and washing up on the shore. So there is still a bit of a defined peak up by that rock outcropping up the middle of the bay, but again, as this tide starts to drop, could move that peak a little farther out from shore. So if we do get lucky with that combination of a little bit lower tide and hopefully this breeze filling in, it could become contestable. So once again, 5 p.m. will be the next call, and a 5:30 first possible start as we see Lee Harvey from the UK there being interviewed by Christian Tillmans with the fuzzy microphone there, and Diogo Cardoso, our amazing film guy and editor.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see a little bit of the behind-the-scenes crew that are able to sort of put all the media together here. It's such an amazing group of people that are behind this event, and all good friends, and everyone gets along really well. And it takes that, and it takes a team to put all this together. So it's a really great team we have.
Absolutely, and of course we want to thank our industry sponsor there for this event, Best Kiteboarding. You see that logo on Lee Harvey's left sleeve of his rash vest there, and looking back at our overview cam here of the beach. A little bit of a few lines pouring in, but again, that high tide and clouds are starting to roll in, which could be a good sign. It is a little bit of a change in weather, a little bit cooler air blowing into the day here, so hopefully that means wind for the afternoon, and if not, then we will reconvene tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. So 5 o'clock is going to be the next call, 5:30 first possible start this afternoon.
So that'll put us about 55 minutes away from the next call. We will be back at you at 5 p.m. with some more information. Till then, have a great afternoon. I'm Ben Meyer.
I'm Sky Solbach, and we'll see you guys in 1 hour. Welcome back, everyone. This is the 5 p.m. announcement here from day 4 at the EDP Kite Surf Pro Cascais 2012. Well, as you can see out there at the moment, a surf school paddling out, which means there's probably not much wind at the moment.
And waves, for that matter, based on the foamies that we're seeing out there.
Exactly. So they are going to go ahead and call this thing off for the day, and we will reconvene tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. So that wind forecast, there's your heats on hold button.
Shoot!
Taking it out of there, and boom, it's back in there. Heats are on hold. So we will reconvene here back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. This thing has been called off for the day at 5 p.m. So we'll probably get out there and maybe go for a little paddle on one of those foamies and go enjoy the sunshine down there on the beach, Ben.
Yeah, actually, it turned out to be not a bad day at all if you were hanging out at the beach. But as we were anticipating a late evening push or a late afternoon push of wind and waves, you can see that actually quite the opposite has happened. It looks like it's glassed off a bit and almost some ankle biter waves out there, and that's about all we can see.
See a few people there flying some kites on the beach. There is still that little onshore breeze, but yeah, unfortunately not enough to get heat number 6 of round 1 underway. But we are optimistic for tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be able to get this thing underway tomorrow morning, hopefully at 10 a.m. So that will be our next call. So be sure to check back tomorrow morning right here on kspworldtour.com.
And one cool thing actually that we can talk about is we've had a lot of feedback on the Facebook chat that happens directly underneath the live stream on where exactly to watch the previous day's heats. And as the contest goes on, obviously we're going to have more and more heats that you're going to be able to re-watch if you're not able to watch us live or in a different time zone, for example. You can go and get it back. So there is a box actually that's this way.
That way. So just to the right-hand side of the player.
2 boxes over.
That way. And you should be able to see it says Heats on Demand there. You can click on that. That'll take you to the Meta Cafe website, who is hosting our player here on kspworldtour.com.
Thanks a ton to Meta Cafe. This has been a great experience of the live stream feed. Thanks for being a partner and bringing this event to you. So yeah, again, check out that. If you can go and click on that link in that box, it will take you to the Meta Cafe site, and you'll actually see the live player again, and if you scroll down below that, you'll see a list of the on-demand video.
Exactly, so it'll be broken up into days, day 1, day 2, day 3, etc. And you'll be able to go on there, and it's you'll be able to scroll through yesterday's heats and find the heat you wanna watch and replay it. So that's our heats on demand. So hopefully that'll be great for you guys to get on there and watch. We got a lot of feedback that people wanted to watch those heats on demand. So we're going to go ahead now and just go back and watch a little recap of yesterday. So this is the day 3 wrap-up of yesterday's first 5 heats of men's round 1, and we will be back with you shortly after this little wrap-up.
Yeah, we're here day 3 for the KSP Pro Tour here on Guincho Beach. And for the first 2 days, we've had less than stellar conditions for the contest to be run. The waves have been phenomenal since we got here. And for the first 2 days, all the riders were out surfing and paddling them to some bombs actually that were rolling in. Today, actually, when we woke up in the morning, it was clear, it was sunny. It looked like the wind line wanted to push in, so everyone was kind of had this buzz on the beach that we thought that the contest was going to be run today. And sure enough, come about 1:30, 2 o'clock, the wind came in, the waves were holding for us to be able to run the event today, and it was just great conditions to be able to get the first 5 heats off today here at Guincho.
It's game time, baby. It's game time.
Big puffs.
Win finally. Let's pray to stick around till the end of the day. Yeah. And And probably when the tide come up, a little bit more waves.
Got a heat with Canada next. The UK against one of our countries.
Yeah, one of the dependencies. God
Doing it for the Queen.
God save the Queen.
For the live webcast, we hope to see you every day at 10 a.m. We'll be waiting for you to tune in. We'll be there ready to watch the heats and check out all the action and recap the previous day and what we can expect for the rest of the competition. Join us every day on the live stream.
All right, welcome back. So if you're just joining us, this is the 5 p.m. call on day 4 of the EDP Kitesurf Pro Cascais 2012. And the competition has been called off for today, so the next call will come tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. as we see these beautiful images from around the city of Cascais. Just a beautiful area here, Ben.
Yeah, fantastic. We were able to watch the recap of day 1 of competition, day 3 of the holding period, and now kind of being able to go through our surrounding area. And as you're able to see from our overview cam, every time that you have a view from our bird's nest up here in the commentator booth, it's such a beautiful area, but here really gives you a great idea of the town and all the surrounding area of Cascais, and they've been such a great host for this event entirely, and the support staff and the event organizers all need to be thanked 1,000 times for how easy they've made it for us to come in and take over their little spot for a little while, and they've been nothing but hospitable and helpful, and we can't thank them enough. And obviously this place is gorgeous, as you can see.
Yeah,
miles of beaches, such a cool little town, and rock formations. It's just such a great place to explore.
Yeah, it's just a really fun place to hang out. I mean, not only to come here for kite surfing, but you know, to come here and just have a nice vacation and enjoy the beautiful surroundings, beaches, and the countryside. And it kind of feels like you know, Central California. It's kind of got that sort of feel, the rolling hills
exactly.
and kind of rugged coastline and cliffs. And we look out there to the left-hand side of your screen. That's the farthest western point of Europe, I believe, and that's called Cabo Roca. And I went out there the other day, and you can stand on the edge of like a 200-foot cliff that looks straight down onto the ocean below and straight out to the Atlantic, and just a beautiful area of the world. And we're really enjoying ourselves here.
Man, happy to be here. And again, they've been nothing but fabulous hosts. And where we sit here in the Muchacho Hotel, overlooking this, I mean, this is not only the view that we have from our commentator booth, but also the view that almost half of the hotel rooms that are here have. And you couldn't ask for a better venue to watch the action, to hang out, to bring the family, to come for a surf, to come for a kite, you know. And you can see that backdrop is just phenomenal.
Yeah, and the Muchacho Hotel here where we're staying at, you know, half the rooms, as Ben was mentioning there, face out towards the ocean. And so the competitors are able to just sort of sit up in bed in the morning, look out the window and see what's happening. And we've also got a big VIP area upstairs in the Muchacho Hotel where all the sponsors and event organizers and riders and everyone are able to hang out and you know, have lunch and have a nice drink and look out over the ocean.
Yeah, and that's all due to our sponsors here at the event. Our main title sponsor, of course, being EDP, who also been one of the main benefactors for making this whole event possible and bringing all these world-class riders here to be able to compete for the title here at the Gincho event, which is the first event of the year, and really it's going to set the tone for the rest of the season. There's a huge break in between this first event and event number 2, and really kind of getting on the board with a positive, great result here is going to mean a lot for these riders, and it's going to set them up mentally, I think, for the rest of the season, and as we go into the long break between this first event and the second event, it will definitely make a difference, the finishes that these riders get at this first stop.
I mean, for sure, this is kind of the event where we're coming out of a long off season. We haven't competed in about 7 months now, so just coming back here for this first event of the year, everyone's kind of getting warmed up and seeing what the other riders are doing, some of the new moves, and we're going to have a 3-month break between now and the second event in Mauritius. So between now and then, I'm sure we'll all go home and keep training hard and get ready for that event. So once again, this is we are calling it off for the day. We are going to reconvene here tomorrow morning. As Ben is pointing out there, next call will be 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. So check back here on kspworldtour.com. We mentioned before, you can check out all the heats on demand from yesterday. Just to the right-hand side of the player, you can click the heats on demand button. That will take you to the Meta Cafe website.
You don't want to miss Me Too's barrel.
That's for sure.
If you didn't get to see it, for sure the wave highlight of the day. But even though he got that barrel in heat number 4, I would call that the wave of the day for yesterday, but he didn't have the highest combined total wave score of the day, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Sebastian Ribeiro in first heat did.
Insane, yeah. So that first heat with Sebastian Ribeiro, he got a 14.2 heat score total, I think.
Somewhere in that range.
Somewhere in the 14-point range.
Even in the second heat, Kiahi de Aboitis.
Yep.
Which, as the way I pronounce it,
Aboitis, I think.
Aboitis in Australian.
Yeah, Aboitis. Yep.
Also up there with the top scores of the day for the 2-wave combined total. You won't want to miss his aerial attack on almost it seemed on every last wave, or every wave that he rode in that last little section. He was setting himself up for a nice little aerial, a little air reverse, at least a little frontside air every single time.
Yeah, he was just punting airs off that little inside section close out there. So that was really cool to see Kiahi throwing some airs in the mix there yesterday. So that is going to just about wrap it up for us here from Cascais. And I'll give you one last glimpse at the beautiful beach here at Gincho. And we will be back here bright and early, well, bright and early for us anyway, 10 a.m. tomorrow local time here.
Super bright and early on anyone in Hawaii or in North America.
That's for sure.
So we'll see you for some espresso mornings, and we'll get together with the next call at 10 a.m. Again, based on what we've seen in the past, my guess is you'll be privy to a coffee talk morning show with Ben and Sky instead of heats beginning directly on time. I hope that's okay with our viewers because it's happening whether you like it or not.
But then again, you can choose to tune in or not.
That's right. And there's always a fast forward button for any of you who are watching live on demand. But as always, please visit the Facebook chat that's directly underneath the live streaming square that's on your webpage to give us any feedback or comments or any questions or any topics actually that you want us to talk about. As the contest goes on, for sure there'll be some questions about the boards that the guys are riding, and if there's any custom versus production stuff happening, and what sizes everybody is using in the contest. So feel free to post on that, and we'll do our best to answer each individual request as we see them.
Absolutely. So we'll see you guys back here tomorrow morning. Be sure to check out our Twitter page for any live updates if you're not able to tune into the broadcast tomorrow morning. And that's it. Signing off. I'm Sky Solbach.
Ben Meyer. See you tomorrow at 10 a.m.